Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys, and in today's video guys we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Southampton guys, at home at Old Trafford guys. So before I start today's video guys, this video will not be fully edited due to the fact that our next game against Brighton and Hove Albion, this video will not be fully edited, obviously just because there's only 2 days now to our next game. Simply don't have enough time to edit this whole video. So please bear with me for another video guys. I had a bit of a tight schedule. I've just not been able to edit fully these videos. But yes guys, let's get straight into today's video. So we made one change from our last game against Burnley. Talking about the starting 11. So we started with Déja Vu, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Pogba, Rashford, Fernandes, Sancho and Ronaldo. Getting into the overall reaction now. Man United blow lead to draw at home to Southampton. Fucking deja vu. It's not good enough. Another missed opportunity. Dropped another 2 points. I don't know what's going on at the moment. That's 2 points out of 6. It's disappointing, annoying and frustrating. We are just making top 4 harder for ourselves. It's frustrating to watch. It's the same old story. History is repeating itself again. It's typical Man United. We never learn. That was Burnley all over again. It's top 4 in doubt. It felt like we controlled the first half. It was an open game. It was an end-to-end game. What we were trying to do is not clicking at the moment. Playing long balls and couldn't keep onside. Lack of ideas. We couldn't seem to control a full 90 minutes. It's embarrassing. Seems like Southampton you have to beat. It's a positive first half, but second half was just poor. We created chances, but chances we didn't take. We just need to be more clinical. We let Southampton back in the game. De Gea made some fantastic saves. We gave away possession too easily, and we gave away possession in silly areas. It was anyone's game. Southampton knew that they were still in the game. Ralf went for it and it didn't work. We got what we deserved in the end. It should have been 3 points today. Game management was good. Decision making was okay. First half great. Second half poor. Overall disappointing performance. Anyway guys, let's get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? I think it's just yet again another disappointing performance. Another game, another frustrating game to watch as well. I just don't know what to say at this moment in time. You know, you go into those 2 games against Burnley and Southampton and you're saying that should be 6 points. I know we hit the Southampton game at a wrong time because obviously they were in form, and I think we just played Southampton. Obviously, I'm not going to say that we played them at the wrong time due to an excuse, but what I'm trying to say is we played them at the wrong time anyway in the first place, but we knew it was going to be a tough game against Southampton. But in those last 2 games, you should have been saying there should have been it should have been 6 points out of 6, and we've dropped 4 points out of it, and it's just not good enough from this team. We know that the quality is there on paper, but what we're doing on the pitch at the minute, we're just not delivering, and it's just very disappointing to see, and it's very frustrating to watch us at the minute. And you know, are we playing shit football at the minute as well? And obviously, you know, the team's going to get criticised with the performances in the most recent weeks. Obviously against Middlesbrough, Burnley and Southampton, and it's just not good enough in my book. And the players are just not learning from their mistakes. It's just disappointing, annoying, frustrating at the minute, and I just don't know what's going on at the minute. And it's another missed opportunity, 2 points dropped again. It's just not good enough from these players, and it's the same old story really, because we go 1-0 up and we can't seem to control and dominate the game. We're trying to obviously see out a 1-0 win, but when you've got teams that are motivated, you know, to try and win the game, they're going to come with a goal, and it's just not good enough, and we never learn from our mistakes. But that was Burnley all over again. We went 1-0 up, and then second half we conceded an early goal yet again. So simply not good enough. We're not learning from our mistakes, and when the game mattered as well, we're playing long balls and everyone's playing offside. So it's just not good enough on our side, and I thought it was an open game. It was end to end, yeah, it's just not good enough. Dropped 2 points, and I tell you what, this top 4 race is bloody shit, because teams are just dropping points left, right and centre at this moment in time. So it's not good enough. But teams like Southampton, you've got to be, you're chasing top 4 and you're dropping points like flies. It's not good enough. And now that Brighton game in the week becomes a must-win game. It's not good enough, and the players have got to be better than this. And if I was Ralf, I'd start being ruthless now and dropping players to see a reaction on what we can see from that team midweek, and go with a different change of mentality and play full of internationals and don't play one English player at the end of the day, and let's see what happens. When we did that, it looked like we were going to beat Villa, and we bloody dropped points there as well. So yeah, not good enough, and we've got to be better. Getting into the game now, I thought first half I kicked tough. I thought it was a brilliant start by Man United, on the front foot, energetic, good start to the game, good pace, good rhythm. I thought playing for high intensity, high tempo. I thought, you know, we had a brilliant couple of opportunities to go 1-0 up. Obviously Jadon slipped in Ronaldo, and Ronaldo just didn't have the power to score, to make it 1-0. That should have been 1-0. Obviously then Southampton had a couple of opportunities to take the lead, got lucky in a couple of times as well, and then I think, but it looked like we were the side that, you know, the goal was coming, and we just grew into the game a little bit. We just had to trust in ourselves and believe in ourselves. Obviously Pogba I thought he was great in that first half, very energetic, very lively as well, and then I just thought we got the goal within 20 minutes of the game. I thought we did really well for the first half an hour. We got the goal, deserved by Jadon Sancho, brilliant player, in some really good form at the minute as well. And then I thought it was a brilliant half an hour. We controlled, dominated the game, and then sort of Southampton just grew themselves back in the game. They sort of, you know, worked us out, and they sort of gained a bit of momentum and confidence. You know, they came forward, created a few good opportunities to get back into the game. Day made a few good saves to keep us in the game as well. And then, yeah, I think then we deservedly went 1-0 up. I think you're probably saying let's get the second goal before half time to kill the game off. We couldn't, and then obviously then going into the second half, and what's frustrating me, and I said this in my last video, is, and what teams are practically doing, they're coming to Old Trafford and they're saying, right, Old Trafford, tough place to go, let's try get some points, you know, let's try take a point or two, let's try get a point off this Man United side, because if we're performing well to our standard, you know, we can perform and turn up and try get something out of this game. But then what we're trying to do is we go in at the halftime team talk, and the first thing you say to these players, because Southampton are still in the game, it's only 1-0, Southampton are still in the game, and you say to these players, expect a fucking reaction, because they're going to come at you in the second half. They're going to be aggressive on the front foot, and they're chasing the game down. They need a goal. So, and they're obviously not being told, expect a reaction. And that's 3 games where they've bottled it and they've scored a goal. It's not good enough. We can't afford to do that against Brighton, because then if Brighton get a goal, they're just going to try and see the game out. They're going to bring on another centre back on, another right back on, or whatever they've got on the bench, and they want to see the game out. And then it's all down to what we do on the pitch to try and chase down a second goal. So we have to be able to kill games off early, as soon as we can. I know things are not going right at the minute. I know things are not clicking, but we need to find solutions, and you've got to find solutions, and we've got to learn from this thick and fast. You've got another game to rectify it. That game in hand against Brighton now comes vital in our season now. It all just one game of the season could change your whole season. And then it just depends on, can we keep that level of consistency to the end of the season? No, because you know what United are like. We're not consistent. We're all over the place. We're not a consistent team. We're not always winning games. We're bloody all over the place, winning, drawing, losing. We're not good enough. So we need to learn from these last 3 games, or these last 3 experiences, to be better in the future games. And that yesterday or last night was not good enough. And we have to be better. It's just not good enough. And then obviously then Southampton, like I just said then, they pulled on another centre back on, another right back on, and they saw the game out. And then I thought we had a few good free kick opportunities. Maguire should have scored 2 of them as well, and to win us the game, and it wasn't enough at the end of the day. That's another 2 points dropped, and yet again another missed opportunity after another frustrating afternoon. Just yet again another missed opportunity, another 2 points dropped. You're thinking over those last 2 games we shouldn't be dropping points against Burnley and Southampton. Burnley rock bottom in the relegation zone. You should be saying we should be winning that game, and then you going into a game against Southampton that are mid-table, should be winning that game as well. And it's just not good enough, and it's been a terrible week for Man United, and we've got to be better next week against Brighton and Leeds. So we've got still another 2 games this week, and we've got to have to rectify it. We've already identified what the problem is. Sort it out in training, and and when you go into the next game with some sort of, I know the confidence isn't there in the team, but we have to find solutions. You have to be able to rectify these problems, and we've not been able to do that recently as well. So might have been another frustrating afternoon. Dropped another 2 more points again when you're trying to get top 4 and trying to get into the Champions League spot, and you have to capitalise on teams that drop points, and teams around us, they'll be capitalising, and they've got games in hand as well. So last night was not good enough, and we have to be better in future games. It's just not good enough. That's 3 games now where we've had a positive first half performance. We have taken an early lead, but then we let the opposition back in the game. They have scored an early goal in the second half. When are we going to learn from our mistakes, and how do we rectify it? We have to learn from our mistakes thick and fast, and you have to, because we've got an absolute massive game against Brighton now in the week, and you're scratching your head saying, we've got to win this, boy. We've got to win this game, lads. It could be a massive game of the season. I know it's only Brighton, but you've got to win the game. It's at Old Trafford, and we have to win this game. It's a game in hand. We've already won one of our game in hands already, but too many times this season we've dropped too many points against shit teams that you should be putting to bed, and dropping too many points, and we could be easily on the same points as Chelsea, and we're not. So, and that's just simply that the players have not been good enough in recent weeks as well. And we have to learn from our mistakes thick and fast, and we have to. You've got another game to put it right in the next 2 days to put it right. And how do you rectify it? You've got to take your chances and be clinical in front of goal. Simple as. And it's just, we have to be ready for these games against whoever it is, Brighton, Watford, Leeds, whoever you've got to be ready, and you have to be able to rectify these games, and you have to rectify your issues and solutions, and to put it right on the training pitch. And then you go into the game thinking, well, we've worked on this in training, you should be able to do this now in the game. But it's all about delivering. Can you get the 3 points? And that's what matters now in the week against Brighton. Is top 4 in doubt? I mean, a lot of people are saying that it's in jeopardy. A lot of people are saying we're not getting top 4. It's out of sight. We're not getting it. To be honest, I can see this only one way now. Win against Brighton. I think it changes our season. But then you know what people are like. They'll say if you win against Brighton, people will be like that. Oh, top 4's back on, Champions League and everything like that. Top 4, yeah, we're going to get top 4. Oh yeah. We all get excited, and then we drop points again. So, I mean, it could be in doubt if we don't win games. I think we need to at least win another 15. I think, and we have to be better, and we've got to be, and we can't afford to keep dropping points left, right, and centre. So, I think win against Brighton, I think we could still get top 4. Don't win against Brighton, I think top 4's definitely in doubt, and probably no chance of getting top 4. Who's my man of the match? I mean, at the end of the day, there were some players that had a decent performance, and some players were bang average. I thought De Gea was good, Delo was okay, I thought Varane was good, I thought Maguire was okay, Shaw was okay, Pogba was good though, I thought McTominay was okay, Rashford was okay, obviously got the assist, Bruno was good, Jadon was good, and Ronaldo was okay. I think the only man to give it was Jadon Sancho. Got us the goal, and obviously been in form in recent weeks as well. How do we beat Brighton and Hove Albion? Obviously this is our next game now against Brighton in the week. I mean, coming into this game against Brighton, I think we're expecting a tough game. I think Brighton are going to be saying to each other, look lads, we've just won against Watford. We've got an opportunity to go up north to Manchester and try and get some points here. United are drawing at the minute, can't find any confidence. They're not winning games. They're not winning games. We've just come off a good win against Watford, and obviously we're full of confidence going into this game against Man United. But what we're also doing is we're letting teams come to Old Trafford and saying, we don't fear you. We can still beat you at your home ground as well. And that's what they're going to do as well. They're going to just say, look, you're Man United, and we're going to try do our best and see if we can get the win. So Brighton, I think they've been really good this season. I think they're having one of their best seasons this year. I think Brighton, they've had some really good draws, obviously, as well. Obviously, they've been doing very well against the top 6 teams. Obviously, took points off Liverpool. That's not easy to do. Going away to Anfield and getting a point, that's never easy as well for teams to do that. Obviously, going to Chelsea and getting a point there, and obviously taking 2 points from Chelsea as well. So they're in a happy place, Brighton. They're playing some good football at the minute. They're enjoying it, and we're in a situation where we can't take our chances. So they'll be scratching their heads going, look lads, we've got an opportunity here. So we need to be on top of it, of our game against Brighton. Brighton are definitely going to come here and give us a game. It's not going to be easy, but we have to be ready for the challenge. I think Brighton, a very good team, got a very good manager, got lots of quality on the pitch, and you don't want to disregard that. They're not going to be slacking off in this game. They know it's a game in hand as well, and it's all down to who wants it more. And if we want it more, we have to be determined to win this game. We know we have to win this game. It's a must-win and must-3 points. We can't afford to drop more points, and if we drop more points, then definitely top 4 is in jeopardy, and we're just making top 4 harder for ourselves. And we have to start, picking up points and start getting wins from somewhere. And obviously Rangnick's obviously going to say, look, we're due a win, so we're going to have to at least try and get a win from somewhere. So could Brighton be the game? I think a lot of fans just want a win, so just don't disappoint the fans and go and deliver what you've got to do as well. But obviously coming into a game like this, Brighton are draw specialists as well this season as well. I think they've had about 12 draws this season or something like that. Yeah, it's 12 draws. So, I mean, it just goes to show the draw specialists. They're doing well against the top 6 teams. Obviously, drew against Arsenal, drew against Chelsea twice, drew against Liverpool. So they're doing well against the top 6 teams and took draws from one of them as well. The only top 6 teams that has beaten them is Man City. But they don't show desire to close down. I think we've got to be able to watch out on their set pieces. Set pieces will definitely come into play for them as well. Could come into play for us as well. But they're a very, very physical side, very direct, very technical, well organised as well. But at times they can be disorganised when you get when you make runs in from behind. But we've got to watch out for the ball in from behind. We must work hard. We've got to win our duels, 50-50s in the second balls. We've got to be aware of a reaction from them as well. So if we go 1-0 up, we've got to be aware of a reaction. Don't let Mopé get a shot off unless he'll score. Don't let Brighton win or lose balls as well. Don't let De Gea do all the dirty work in this game. We have to stay in the game as long as we can. We must defend properly. We've got to be organised, get crosses into the box. Passing needs to be quick. We've got to be quick on the break. Create the spaces, attack the spaces, drive them out of position, stretch them out. If they play with a deep line, then attack them. Don't give them any confidence or momentum. Capitalise on their mistakes. Don't afford to make mistakes. Capitalise on our set pieces as well. Set pieces could come into play in a game like this as well. We've got to defend properly on set pieces. Don't allow them any space. Don't afford to make mistakes. Creativity is a must. We need to have a quick and bright start. Get an early goal would be crucial. We've got to be aggressive, got to be ruthless, make the runs in from behind. Play with high intensity, high tempo, play with energy and purpose. Get in between the lines, make the right runs in the right channels, pick out the right pass, get the players in the forward areas. Got to create the chances, take our chances, be clinical, be explosive on the break. The quality in the final third has got to be there. We've got to control and dominate the game. Don't underestimate them as well. Fullbacks have got to be effective. Decision making will be key. Game management will be key. Don't leave spaces or gaps open. We need to be tight and compact. Defensively frustrate Brighton. We need to have the desire to close them down. Got to be strong, committed. Play with a higher line. Don't afford to be lazy. Don't make mistakes in silly areas. Play with heart, passion, pride, commitment, determination and desire. Show character and team spirit. We've got to be switched on at all times. We need to be focused and stay concentrated. Commitment into the box. Don't be afraid to make a tackle. Be brave, take risks. Don't give the ball away cheaply, and the midfield needs to close them down. The first goal, Varane clears the ball to Delo gets the ball to Bruno turns, sees Rashford runs, squares it to Sancho, and Sancho scores a nice tap-in for 1-0. Getting to the stats now, possession for Man United, it was to 52.3%, and for Southampton it was 47.7%. Goals for Man United, it was 1, and for Southampton it was 1. Total shots for Man United it was 12, and for Southampton it was 13. Shots on target for Man United it was 8, and for Southampton it was 4. Shot accuracy for Man United it was 66.7%, and for Southampton it was 30.8%. Shot inside the box for Man United it was 11, and for Southampton it was 6. Shots outside the box for Man United it was 1, and for Southampton it was 7. Total passes for Man United it was 469 passes, and for Southampton it was 430 passes. The pass accuracy for Man United it was 81.4%, for Southampton it was 80.7%. Getting to the substitutions now, McTominay went off for Elanga. Talk about Scott's performance. Competitive against Ward-Prowse and Romeu, and collected a booking. Once the Saints midfielders seized control, McTominay became swamped. Substituted. Rashford went off for Lingard. Talk about Marcus's performance. Began poorly, but then he did well to pick out Jadon Sancho for the breakthrough. That was a standout moment for another difficult afternoon. Next up, we've got Brighton. Obviously, Brighton are 9th in the table. Brighton, like I just said then, they're going to come into this game. They're not going to slack off. They know 3 points are at stake here. So must win, must 3 points. This game becomes vital now for Manchester United. Not only just for our season, but it's a game in hand as well. I think we've got to win this game in hand as well. Can't afford to drop more points as well. Been a terrible week already. Dropped 2 points out of 6, and we have to be able to make this game count, and we've got to turn up, perform for a full 90 minutes as well. Brighton, it's going to be not easy, it's going to be tough I think, but we've got a game on our hands here against Brighton. It's not going to be easy, but we have to be ready for this challenge. So must win, must 3 points. We have to win this game no matter what. We've got no other option but to win this game. Brighton, they're the draw specialists as well, so they'll definitely want to try and get some sort of a result. They'll try and trust in themselves and believe in themselves to try and get a result from somewhere. It's down to how we perform and how we play. We have to make this game count ourselves. We have to make sure we perform really well, and we have to be able to control and dominate the game, and we have to see out this game better as well. Just don't let them get the first goal, because then we're having to chase the game down. We have to give them a game ourselves, and we have to be ready for this, not only just mentally but physically as well. We've got to be physically ready for this battle. We have to be switched on at all times. Mentally, we have to go in with the right mindset as well. Going into a game against Brighton, it's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be tough, but we're ready for this challenge. Must win, must 3 points. We have got to win this game, full stop. There's no question about it. So can we rectify our problems against Brighton? That's the big question. 3 points are up for grabs here. We've got to get those 3 points to put the pressure onto other teams around us. Got to win this game. It's a game in hand. You've got to win it at the end of the day. Get the first goal. Try kill the game off as soon as you can. Kill the game off in the first half. Brilliant. Brighton are scoring 1.1 goals per game. Brighton are conceding 1 goal per game. Brighton have won 7, drawn 12 and lost 4. But they've lost to Everton 2-0, Man City 4-1, Villa 2-0 and Wolves 1-0. Brighton have only lost 1 game away from home this season, and that was against Aston Villa, and it ended 2-0, obviously to Villa, back in November. So it has to be a special performance to go and beat Brighton. They haven't lost since November. We have to be ruthless, we have to be aggressive, and make sure you kill the game off as early as you can. Brighton have the 5th best defence in the league, and the players to look out for is Sanchez, Lamptey, Corella, Webster, Dunk, Duffy, Veltman, Basuma, McAllister, Mwepu, Gross, Lallana, Modder, Alzate, March, Concedo, Mope, Trossard and Welbeck. Hope you guys are enjoying another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.